What's up, metalheads? We are back once again with our second episode of Full Metal 5. This time, we're celebrating the best of DC with top 5 best DC movies. And with me, once again, I have a stacked docket, joining with the very recently minted in Full Metal Callout. Sorry, from my left, we'll go Alex, the Omega Warden. Alex, what's up, man?
I am still completely shocked that Lady Luck decided to screw me the way she did in that match, but that's in the past. We're here to have fun tonight. We're here to go once again with Full Metal 5. We had a lot of fun doing it the other night, and I think we got an even better topic tonight, so this is really going to be a good show.
His opponent in Full Metal Callout, we have the Adam, Jeremy Adams.
Hey guys, I'm so excited to be here. I saw the first top 5 that we did that I wasn't able to be there for. I thought it was awesome. I have a couple bones to pick with the list, but yeah, I'm excited for the topic tonight. I'm so excited for this new.
All right. Also joining us, our special guest chair this week from, you may recognize from Schmoes Bros, an often co-host of mine. We have Hunter the Hitman Chambliss. What's up, man?
What's up, everybody? I'm rocking the Nightwing hat. Huge DC fan. I'm ready to get into this top 5.
And finally on our panel, he's been out for a long time, but he is back again for this. He is my partner on the notorious CHA and CE. He is Russell Howell. Russell, it's good to have you back at long last, buddy.
Glad to be back, man. I didn't want people to think I was dead like Superman or something, so that's good.
Oh.
How dare you? How dare you get married and go on a honeymoon?
Seriously, it sucks, yeah. But it was good. It was a good time. And back to the cold weather. I am in Pennsylvania, so it's all good.
Yeah, it looked like you had fun, but hey, you get to be on a brand new show, man. How exciting!
I was glad to be on it. Thank you.
All right, so for those of you who didn't see our very first episode, what we do is we talk about movies. We pick movies, and we have a topic every week, and we select films, and we rank them in a top 5. So we have 3 different selecting processes. Our first one is the nomination process. What we're each going to do is we're each going to go around until we have place, and then we'll go from there. For a film to make the top 7 list, it has to get majority votes. So in addition to the person who nominated it, elect to ratify it. So if that makes sense, let's get started. So I will start the selection process with a film that I think absolutely deserves to be in the top 7 best DC movies. You saw it coming, guys. It's The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight is a film. It's one of those films that transcends being just a comic movie and just a great movie overall. I love this movie. It's one of my favorite DC movies, and I think it's one that absolutely deserves a spot on this list. We'll go to Alex first. He's been here before. Alex, does The Dark Knight go in the top 7?
It goes into the top 7, top 5, top 3. I won't reveal its spot on my list, but yes, let's put it up there. It's got to be there.
Let's go to Jeremy next. Jeremy?
Well, I don't want to be assassinated by Chris Woodburn, so I'm going to say yes on The Dark Knight.
All right, Dark Knight makes it in. That's 3 votes. Dark Knight makes it in. So, Russell, Hunter, what would you have said since your votes didn't count?
Oh, of course. Dark Knight definitely makes it in.
Yeah,
Russell,
I had a list of 7 movies that made it. I would put it. I mean, obviously, it goes past 7.
Not yet, but
yeah, but yeah, I definitely, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Russell. Well, since your vote didn't count last time, and you're kind of the least camera on this panel, let's go to you next, man. What movie should you say should make the top 7?
Top 7, I got to go with one of my favorite superheroes. I got to go 1978 Superman. So Christopher Reeves, very iconic. I got to go with that. The music, Marlon Brando, everything. So I'm going to nominate the 1978 Superman.
All right, Hunter, since your vote didn't count last time, should Superman go on the top 7 list?
Haven't seen it. So
fuck.
I know.
All right, well,
I'll watch it.
You're most
I knew you had blind spots, young man. Are you freaking kidding me? Of course, this was my number 1 choice. This is the movie that made me like superheroes. So God bless you, Russell. Thank you.
All right, let's go to Alex. Make it.
I would have agreed. There's a reason it's called the grandfather of superhero blockbusters. It's got to be on the list of the top 5, definitely. So top 7, definitely.
Is our second movie on the top 7. So let's go to Hunter. Now you get to nominate a movie.
Okay, guys, mine is going to be a little unorthodox, but
Oh boy.
I'm going with the Lego Batman movie.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
If you want a
Good one.
fun, entertaining, very smart Batman movie, it's the Lego Batman movie, man. All the references, it's a very good story. Yes, I definitely just think that it deserves top 7.
Okay. I'll go first. I love Lego Batman movie. It's one of my favorite movies of the year so far. That being said, I'm saying no. Animated Batman movies, there's one that I think deserves the spot more than Lego Batman. As much as I do love it, there's one that I would rather put on this list. So just for me, I'm saying no. Let's go to Russell first.
I gotta shoot that down. I'm a big Batman fan. I enjoy the different movies and the cartoons and stuff like that. But I have another movie on the list that I think should be in the top 7. So I can't put Lego Batman above this one just because the movie I got on my list is just I mean it's better, I think. So whatever.
So that's two votes no. Let's go to Alex.
I'm going to shoot this one down as well. As you said, Chance, I know the movie you're thinking, a better animated Batman movie. It's on my list. I think there's at least 3 other animated Batman movies that are better, which weren't theatrically released. Lego Batman is great for what it tries to be in being a subverted version of the movie, making fun of itself, but still telling a good story. But in terms of its scope in the overall DC movies, yeah, there's definitely some picks that are better and would make a top 7 above the Lego Batman movie.
Oh yeah, totally.
It's a great Batman parody. It's a great Batman parody, but I wouldn't give it a top spot. So Lego Batman does not make it on the list. Jeremy, what would you have said?
I would have said yes. I would have the other game, but because I saw it in the theater with an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old boy, and you know when you're in that environment, you can really see what they pulled off and how great that movie is. And I love the movie. Adults and kids alike.
I love the movie, but I think there's something that deserves a spot more than that one. So, Jeremy, your vote didn't count last one, so you get to pick the next one.
Well, Russell took my first pick, so I'm going to actually go for a non-superhero DC movie. There are some good ones, and not everyone is aware of the non-superhero DC movie. Yeah. So I'm going to go for what I think is a great action movie. It's a great political movie. It's a movie of ideas, and it has one of the most memorable characters ever, and that'd be V for Vendetta, starring Natalie Portman and Hugo Weaving. I think it's an awesome movie, and I think it's even more relevant now than it was when it came out. So I just thought I'd throw that one out there.
All right. Well, I'll go first. I saw where you were. I thought you were going somewhere else, but V for Vendetta. Yeah. Man, I love that movie. It's a great action movie. It's got some really fun elements. Hugo Weaving, maybe one of his better performances. Yeah, I say it should make the top 7. Let's go to Alex.
All right. See, me, I'm of 2 minds when it comes to V for Vendetta. One is the fact that, it's everything Jeremy brought up. It's a great action movie, has great performances, a great starring role by Hugo Weaving, doing it all through a mask, which is really impressive when you think about it. The other part of me, though, is the purist of that book. I love that book so much. V for Vendetta makes my top 2 graphic novels of all time. And this movie has nothing to do with that novel other than sharing the characters. That being said, it's still so well done that, yes, I will agree a top 7 spot for V for Vendetta is totally warranted.
Okay, so V for Vendetta makes top 7. Russell, Hunter, what would you guys have said?
I had it on my top set. I literally, it's funny. I had a list of 7 movies. V for Vendetta was one of them. So, yeah, like I said, it's a great movie. It was really Natalie Portman, really, non-Star Wars related coming out, and Hugo Weaving nailed it. And I thought Natalie Portman shaving her head bald was pretty sexy. So yeah, it was a great movie, and like how you touched on the political themes of it, it's still relevant to today, and. Yeah, and who forgets the 5th of November now, So yeah, definitely on the list.
Oh, definitely, yes.
I see Hunter nodding his head. You would have put it on too.
Oh yeah, I had it on my top 7 also, especially since it has so much meaning more today than it did when it came out, and most movies
Absolutely.
don't do that.
All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've did it makes top 7. All right, Alex. I think you're the only one that hasn't got to nominate something yet. So your turn, buddy. What do you got?
Mine is more of a personal choice, but honestly, earlier brought up the fact that Superman the movie it became the granddaddy of superhero blockbusters.
Mhm.
The movie that made the modern superhero blockbuster is Tim Burton's Batman from 1989. This movie had everything that the modern blockbusters of the late 80s, 90s, and the early 2000s had. Great action, a great villain, one of the best villains in history, played by Jack Nicholson as the Joker, a killer score by Danny Elfman, and a great soundtrack by Prince, contributing 3 songs, plus the Bat Dance. It was Batmania everywhere for the marketing of that movie, and people got pissy when Heath Ledger was cast as Joker for The Dark Knight. People were sending Warner Brothers death and bomb threats over Michael Keaton, and he proved everyone wrong with his performance as Batman and Bruce Wayne in that movie. This is, for me, the movie that made me a superhero fan, and I think it definitely deserves a spot in the top 7.
Okay. Hunter, your vote didn't count last time, so we'll go to you first.
Oh, without a doubt, yes. Batman 1989. Just a quick trivia about me. My dad knows every single line from the Joker in that movie, so whenever I watch it with him, it gets annoying because he's always in my ear. Love that movie, just from Jack Nicholson's portrayal of the Joker, the great Batman, just everything, great action, everything. So yes, makes top 7.
All right, we'll go to Russell.
It's funny. Again, I made a list of exactly 7 movies. This one was on it. You can't forget the Jack Palance cameo too. The movie was really, really great for its time. It was a really dark portrayal of Gotham City, and what better person to portray Bruce Wayne than Michael Keaton? You figured I was coming right off of Beetlejuice, and coming on to this one, I thought he knocked it out. I thought he played a great, rich, superhero like he did, and I thought Jack Nicholson absolutely portrayed the Joker to the T. Not only to be outdone by Heath Ledger, but they both. They're different types of Jokers, but I thought both of them obviously did a great job. I like Nicholson in the '89 Batman, so yeah, I absolutely vote for that.
Okay, and Jeremy, 2 votes. So yeah, Batman makes the list.
Oh yeah.
So Jeremy, what would you say?
I'm actually old enough that I was there opening day for that movie. I saw it 4 times in the theater. It changed my life. You can't imagine how huge that movie was when it came out. That having been said, I don't think it totally holds up. I think there's some elements of it that are a little cheesy today, but I definitely still think it should be on there.
Bob, you're my number 1 guy.
Yeah, some of it doesn't hold up, but I think that's still resonant. I think it's still, it's about how good the movie is, because it doesn't hold up. People still love it.
Yeah.
I think it's back to me. I'm really torn because there's one I really want to nominate because I don't think anybody else will. Think we should. Granted, we just said a Batman movie, but I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up the reason I didn't say Lego Batman should make the list is because there's one I think should take its place. That's Batman: Mask of the Phantasm. Batman: Mask of the Phantasm. It takes all the great elements of Batman the animated series and puts it in I can't remember how long it is. I think it's like 1.5, 2 hour format. I think it seemed like a really long episode of the cartoon, but it's really not. It's a good story. It's self-contained, so you don't have to have seen the animated series to appreciate it. It's probably, even despite being animated, it's still one of the better renditions of Batman in film. So I think this absolutely deserves a spot in the top 7. Let's go to Alex first.
I had the exact same thought as you were earlier, Chance. This is the best animated version of Batman we've ever seen. And honestly, it takes everything that was great about the animated series and it amps it up to 11 by adding so much more scope of the cinematography, being able to use a cinematic camera instead of a television camera. You get great effects. It has computer effects in it, which for animated movies in the 90s, at that point, 1993, completely unheard of, and it integrates seamlessly. Plus, you've got great voice performances of Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill as Batman and Joker. And you bring in the Phantasm, that growly, raspy voice by the late great Stacy Keach. It just sells so well in this movie. It's so good. It is one of the best Batman movies of all time, and yeah, it deserves a spot in the top 7.
All right, Jeremy, your vote didn't count last time, so what do you say about Batman Mask of the Phantasm?
I got to be the bad guy in this one and say no. I like the movie, but I haven't seen it in a while, and it just didn't resonate with me the way that some of the episodes of the TV series did. Maybe if I watched it again, it would jump up for me. But yeah, there are episodes of that show that I still watch over and over again. And that wasn't quite in the same level for me. So it would probably be like 9 or 10 on my top 10 list. But yeah, it's not quite up there. Sorry, guys.
Fair. But okay, well, we still have Russell. Russell, what do you say?
Yeah, you guys are going to hate me too. I agree. I kind of echo what Jeremy said. I was a fan of the square Batman face. Don't get me wrong. I remember watching a cartoon. I remember watching Mask of the Phantasm. I remember buying it at Suncoast Videos on VHS back in the day. Jeremy will probably obviously get that reference.
Oh yeah.
I remember watching on VHS. I mean, great cartoon for its time, absolutely. To me, kind of how Jeremy said it. I don't mean to piggyback so much on that, but it just didn't. To me, it just doesn't stand out as like clear cut. Yes, this deserves it. Maybe it's not because I'm more live action than I am animated. I don't know. But to me, it just didn't echo and resonate to something that's like, hey, I mean, I absolutely would put it like an honorable mention, like Jeremy said, maybe at 11 or 10. If we did a top 10, I'd have no problem putting it there, but I can't see that in the top 7.
Okay, fair. So, Hunter, you're the deciding vote. Does Batman Mask of the Phantasm make the list?
Has he seen it, is the question.
I remember seeing about half of this movie.
Oh, shit.
He gets half of a vote.
Half of a vote. I'm right in the middle. So, yeah, I can't put my way in there.
All right, well, since we're split, we can't put it on the list. So, Batman Mask of the Phantasm, as much as I wish it would, does not make the top 7.
I'm so sorry, Mark Hamill.
No, sorry, Mark Hamill. You're my favorite Joker. Sorry, Kevin Conroy. You're my favorite Batman.
Yeah,
I
love them so much from the show.
What an upset! Batman Mask of the Phantasm, fan favorite, does not make the list.
Yeah.
All right. So I see Russell. All right, so we go back to Russell. Russell, what's the next movie you want to nominate?
All right, we're gonna get a lot of crap for this one. I got to though, because man, I really like this movie a lot. I got to go with the 2013 Man of Steel. I know, like people are gonna mind blow me, but to me, when you had Bad Goes of Superman with Brandon Routh and Returns and stuff like that, and we get this new fresh idea from Zack Snyder, and I know a lot of people like to rain on his parade, say the guy doesn't have visual and stuff like that. He overdone it in different things that he does. To me, Man of Steel, I thought Henry Cavill was a perfect choice for Clark Kent. I thought he was a great Superman. He only was as good as what he had to work with, and to me, I think he embodies the Clark Kent and the Superman mystique that we're looking for. And like I said, if it's anything that has been out of his reach with like BVS and stuff like that, it's only because of what he's given. You know what I mean? To me, I think Henry Cavill embodies Superman. I gotta put Man of Steel up on the top 7. I'd be crazy not to. So I got to put it on there.
Okay, fair. Let's go to Jeremy first.
I'm torn. I love the first half of the movie. I think they did a lot of really interesting and cool things with the character. There are scenes that I love. I love the score. It kind of falls off for me at the end there. But I do think, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and say yes, because the things that I like about it, I really like, and I think that it is an important part of DC canon.
All right. Hunter, you did not get a vote last time, so what do you got?
Russ, thank you, man, because if you wouldn't have nominated, I would have. I absolutely love Man of Steel, and yes, it deserves to be in top 7, just from the all the actors, the drama, and all that stuff. Yes, the action, it makes it in top 7.
Well, now I'm hoping
All
my
right,
other
so
pick
Man
gets
of-
nominated, by the way. Sorry.
Man of Steel. Man of Steel makes top 7. I didn't see that coming. Alex, what would you have said?
On.
I would have said no. Man of Steel is a tale of two different movies. The first half is very distinctly Christopher Nolan influenced, and this is how you should introduce Superman. The second half is Zack Snyder then looking at him and going, Chris, can I blow stuff up now? It's so oddly paced, so hammily acted. Michael Shannon as Zod is just...
Oh, God.
I mean, it's fun. I actually had it... I had it in my top 10 just for Cavill's performance alone. Maybe 9th, but not top 7. But okay, we'll put it there.
Amazing. Yeah, I think if it came down to me, I wouldn't have put it in either because I think, just like with Lego Batman, I do like Man of Steel a lot, but I just like with Lego Batman, I think there's another Superman movie that's deserves a spot on this list more possibility, but we'll get to that later. All right, so the next vote, I believe, goes to Hunter. So, Hunter, what do you got?
Okay, so it's pretty much down to 2 for me, but I feel like I'm going to nominate another DCEU movie, Wonder Woman. Yes,
Ooh.
you know, this was one of the best DCEU movies from critic rating to audience scores to, and I know I'm going into a lot of that, but me personally, I had so much fun in this movie. It was such a good performance from Gal Gadot, which no one saw coming, by the way. You know, this model
did.
coming in, but she killed it as Diana. Yes, around, you know, the ending, the villain does get a little hammy at times, but overall, that one nitpick of mine, the whole movie to me is incredible.
So, Wonder Woman is on the table. Alex, what do you say?
I agree. When this movie came out this summer, I went in with low expectations, like a lot of people, because of the track record with the previous 2 films. But when reviews started coming out, you hear those rumbles that they finally fixed things. They finally knocked it out of the park. You see what Patty Jenkins did with this movie. You see Gal Gadot and her performance. She is Wonder Woman. The supporting cast were great. The villain... yeah, not the best, but it's kind of on par with the Marvel villains. They're there to serve a purpose and make the hero look good. It's all about the journey for these characters, and that was a great journey for Diana, giving us a great introduction to this character and an intro story that really does her justice. Pun not intended. I have it in my top 7, so yeah, I'm gonna vote this one. This one's got to be in there.
Okay, I'll go to me next. And, you know, I don't love Wonder Woman as much as most people. I have problems with the third act completely falls off for me, personally. But that being said, I do agree it's a very good film. I do think it is the best the DCEU has had to offer. Which I saw earlier today, and I will talk about later on my personal channel. But, yeah, as far as Wonder Woman goes, I think absolutely deserves a spot in the top 7. So Wonder Woman gets a slot. What would you guys have said?
I had it on my list, but I'd have been torn to put that between that and The Watchmen for my DC movies. I thought Watchmen. What's that? I thought Watchmen was really good. I think
it might come up. Yeah. It might come up.
We'll get to it.
And Jeremy, what would you say? Would Wonder Woman have made the list for you?
I actually think there's a possibility when we look back, like 20, 30 years from now, it might be the most important DC movie that was ever made. So it's a hell yes for me.
Okay, Wonder Woman makes the list. All right, Jeremy, you're up, buddy. What do you want to nominate next?
I think some people might be tempted to think that you only need one Nolan Batman movie, but I don't agree. I think Batman Begins absolutely should be on the list because for the simple reason that The Dark Knight is the great Joker movie. Batman Begins is the great Batman movie. This is Bruce Wayne, how he puts it all together, the journey of him, you know, starting everything, becoming Batman, creating, you know, everything that he's going to become, finding out what kind of hero he wants to be, coming up with his code. These are things that we read for so many years in the comics. So many things, they're all the things that the previous movies didn't understand. And just to see that played by such a great actor like Christian Bale, it's a great movie, and I think it has good villains. I love the Scarecrow, and it really holds up, and I think it really should be up there.
All right. since his vote didn't count last time. Russell, does
Man.
Batman Begins
Batman-
get the last spot on the list?
Man, Batman Begins is good. I like my Watchmen too, but yeah, it's this. Yeah, I mean, I think you pretty much sold me, Jeremy. I think, yeah, we do get.
You can still say no. There's other opinions.
No. Well, let me think it through here. Like, I really did like Nolan's take on bringing Christian Bale because nobody knew who he was. I mean, outside of the movies that he made prior, but nothing like would stand and be like, this guy's going to carry a franchise 3 movies deep, and was going to have arguably the top 10 or top, it's one of the top 10 movies in the IMDb top 10, Dark Knight. Yeah, to me, I thought it was an important movie for DC because it actually put DC back in mainstream there. And when it came out, 2005, I believe it came out?
Yep.
That's
So
vibe.
2005.
The
And
year right after
I remember
Catwoman.
seeing. Yeah, and I remember seeing the theaters, and I was like, "Wow!" I'm really glad Batman did it right because we really hadn't had a good Batman movie since 1989, and because everything else fall off, Batman Returns, Batman Forever, Batman Atrocious Robin, and all that fun stuff. Yeah, you know what? I can see it. It's an important thing for the DC movie, so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a yeah.
I feel like I know where you're going, Alex, but what do you say?
The point I'm going to make is The Dark Knight wouldn't be great if Batman Begins wasn't a good starting block. So yes, it's in the top 7, definitely. It's an important movie because it got the Batman franchise back on track, and it proved you can make a movie where you can treat your superhero character seriously and really set the bar in the origin template that was copied by everybody else going forward. Batman. Like, seriously, it's so good a movie that it influenced so much in the genre since then. It's got to be in this list. It is that good.
All right, so that's it. Batman Begins gets the final spot in our top 7. Hunter, what would you have said?
Oh, yes. As Alex brought up, without Batman Begins, Dark Knight probably would never have happened. We'd probably be stuck with Batman and Robin, and, God help us all if we did that.
God help us. Yeah, I think if it came down to me, I would have also put it on the list just because I think you're right. It brought DC back from the brink of irrelevance just because it literally came out the year right after Catwoman.
Mm-hmm. And plus, it was just a good movie. It was a great movie.
Yeah. It was so good.
All right, we have top 7. All right, Jeremy, Russell, since you guys didn't get to talk about it, I'll let you guys talk about Watchmen for a solid 3 minutes.
Yeah. Russell, I don't think you saw that. Russell, I don't think you saw the top 5 worst DC list, but we had Henry on, and that would have made his worst list. So I've been wanting for days. I've been wanting to for that. so you tell him why it's good, Russell.
No, to me, honestly, it was one of those things where, we first got a taste of Zack Snyder here before the atrocious Sucker Punch. To me, I thought Watchmen was a really, really important piece of cinematic making, just because of the fact this movie took literally the graphic novel, which is recognized as one of the greatest graphic novels of all time, and I think it really portrayed it and made it like it was you were flipping the pages of a comic book, a graphic novel. Yes, were there a little bit of miscastings? Sure. Malin Akerman shouldn't have been in it, and Patrick Wilson, I don't think was a great choice either. But Rorschach, Jackie Earle Haley gave a phenomenal performance.
Rorschach's really good.
You bought Rorschach, and I thought Jeffrey Dean Morgan as the comedian was great. I liked the grittiness of it, the darkness of it, and I liked everything it was trying to embody. Did it run on the long side? Sure. But on the same token, that graphic novel was really, really thick from what I've seen of it. I've never read it, so I can't sit there but I know a lot of my friends were very, adamant about just the fact that this is a really celebrated graphic piece of comic history. And to me, I thought Snyder takes me through it, and I'm reading a comic book while I'm watching the movie. I'm watching this. So to me, I think I would have put it up in the top 7 for sure, just because of that landmark and the fact I thought Jackie Earle Haley, completely written off as an actor, really started to come back and make a comeback after Little Children, and after the movie Little Children came back into this one and actually was in a headlining role, and I thought he knocked it out of the park. But that's just me. I thought Billy Crudup was perfect as Manhattan, but not everybody likes the same movie. But I just go ahead, finish. No, I'm done. Go ahead.
Before you start, I gotta say, Jackie Earle Haley came back as an actor to give us such great cinematic gems as the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street, the remake of RoboCop, and The Dark Tower.
Yeah.
None of that is his fault.
No, I don't blame him for any of that. And actually, he's actually the best part of all 3 of those.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just going to add, I think Watchmen's the most ambitious DC film, and some people might, think that's a bad thing, but I love ambitious movies. I love movies that swing for the fences, and that was a new kind of comic book movie. That was something that hadn't really been attempted before, and I think the individual scenes are really great in it, and yeah, some of it doesn't work, some of it's a mess, but I would put it alongside Sin City as 2 movies that try to do something new with the comic book form. Doesn't all work, but I really admire those movies for their visions.
Can I add something real quick on that real fast?
Go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah. To me, and this is the other thing that really stands out, because I believe this came out in March of 2009, and I remember watching it. But to me, if I step back now and I'm like, if this movie was made within the last couple years, I think this movie would have done a lot better. I know everybody said that, but I don't think we were ready just right then and there for a different type of superhero movie, because we already had Iron Man out by then. We already had these different movies out by then, so we were expecting the cookie cutter, the same type of superhero stuff. And this one kind of pushed the boundaries, like how you said, Jeremy. It pushed the boundaries. It didn't care. It didn't dare to be different. And to me, I think that's ballsy in itself, because this movie came out when it wasn't just like, all right, Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3, Incredible Hulk. Like everything's basically the same. Captain America. Everything's basically the same type of storyline. I think this one pushed the boundaries a little bit. I think it would have been better receptive had it been released within the last 5 years and not almost 10. So that's just my 2 cents on it.
And that title sequence alone.
Well, I do want to say one thing about this movie, though, and as someone who loves the original Watchmen, it is it's number 3 in my favorite graphic novels list, just behind V for Vendetta. I love Alan Moore as a writer. I love his style. This movie, for a purist fan of that novel, it doesn't do it. This is the problem. It omits just so many little details of what makes that story great that it's not a true adaptation. It's like Lord of the Rings. It admits the little details in order to just keep it within a set runtime. This novel, which is 12 standard issue page comics put together as a graphic novel, it would be best served as a 6-part miniseries on HBO or Showtime, where you can do an hour, 2 books per episode, and flesh out the story, and it would be much better. The 3-hour runtime of the director's cut and the 2 and 40-something of the theatrical version, it still is not enough time to do that story justice. And I think that's the ultimate failing of the movie, is it doesn't give it enough time to flesh out the characters.
Yeah, piggybacking on what you said, there's something in the graphic novel that they wouldn't translate cinematically, so they had to change a lot of it. And in that, it kind of missed the point of the story. Although I don't think Watchmen's a terrible movie. No, I think it's misguided, but I wouldn't say it's bad. Before we move on, I want to say that I know what never got in is Swamp Thing. Wes Craven's Swamp Thing. Give it a chance, I would have nominated that.
I love that when I was a kid. It doesn't hold up. It's hard to watch. But it's, if you want to be.
All right, so we have our top 7. We have The Dark Knight, Superman the Movie, V for Vendetta, Batman 89, Man of Steel, and Batman Begins. This is I think. Now here comes the hard part. We have to actually cut 2 of these movies. Here, someone's gonna nominate, same as last one. Someone's gonna nominate a film from this list to kick off until 2 are off the list, and then we can then make a top 5. So since we just finished just short of you, what film do you want to nominate to get off the top 7?
So wait, who are we?
Who did you
starting
ask? I'm sorry.
Alex, we start with you because
Okay.
you didn't get a vote last period.
All right. I know a lot of you guys brought this up that it's a favorite of yours, but on the same tone as I just brought up with Watchmen, I got to kick V for Vendetta off of the top 5. I like the movie a lot, but it has nothing to do with the original Alan Moore graphic novel. The original Alan Moore graphic novel is about anti-Thatcherism. It's about anti-Big Brother with a supercomputer actually running the government and V even hacking it. They don't make any chance to make V a hero. He's supposed to be a faceless specter who it could be anyone. He doesn't have a personality. He doesn't have anything but his cause. Hugo Weaving's great in the film, but he's not the V that I love. Everyone around, and they changed just so many little details that it really isn't the same story. It really isn't. There's a lot of things that are wrong with the film too. A lot of the action is just way too over the top, and it seems at various points you can tell that part of the movie was directed by James McTeague, and part of the movie was directed by the Wachowskis, who came in to do cleanup for him because he was a rookie director. He'd only done AD work on the Matrix films. Tonally, it's a little bit all over the place. Script-wise, you can tell they're just rushing to the conclusion in the third act. I don't think it deserves a spot in the top 5, honestly. It's a great movie. It's not a great adaptation of its source material. And, yeah, it's not in the top 5 for me.
Has he directed anything since V for Vendetta?
Ninja Assassin. That's the only other thing.
God.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go to me next. I'm gonna say it stays. I think yes, as far as adaptations points go, it's not the greatest adaptation. But if we're judging this list based on movies based on DC Comics in any way, shape, or form, movie. I like the action. I like what Hugo Weaving does with the character of V. Yes, it takes liberties, but and I would like for it to stay in the top 5. So we'll go to Jeremy next. Jeremy, does V for Vendetta exit the top 7?
I just want to respond to Alex's points. I get where he's coming from, but with both Watchmen and V for Vendetta, this idea that you ding the movie because it's different than the source material, or a movie is not supposed to do exactly what the source material does. It's supposed to be its own movie. And I'll give you one example. One of the worst adaptations ever is Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, because it changes the entire core emotion of what that story is, and it's one of my top 10 favorite movies. So does it work as a movie is what it matters, and I think V for Vendetta still really does. It's not perfect, but I think the ideas carry it, and it has such a unique place when you place it against all the other DC movies. I think it stays.
The thing is, though,
sorry, go ahead.
I just wanted to add one more thing, though, and that is that when I look at this list of the 7 movies we have, there are, to me, 5 movies on this list that are influential and just pillars of the comic book movie genre, and are a perfect example of 5 movies you can show to anyone, and they will know why, as bad as the DCEU has been up until now, this is why there was hope for this franchise to be great, and V for Vendetta is not in that list.
But before we go, I want to say, Jeremy, on your point that great adaptation doesn't necessarily mean good movie. Jaws is an awful adaptation of the book, but the Jaws the book it's not very good.
The book sucks. So,
the Jaws the movie is fantastic.
Yeah.
I have 2 votes for it to stay on. We need one more vote for it to stay on. We'll go to Russell. Russell, does V for Vendetta stay on the list?
Stay on the top 7?
Top 5.
Does it not get cut? Does it not get cut? Is what we're saying.
Oh man, V for Vendetta is a really good movie. I gotta, you know what, man. But there's movies that I could think that I would rather put up on there. Yeah, I can't give that. I would say maybe number 6, on a top 7 list. I can't throw it in for a
goes to Hunter then.
The top 5.
Hunter, you're the deciding vote. Does V for Vendetta get cut?
See, what's funny is I watched this movie recently for the very first time. Absolutely loved it. V for Vendetta goes to the top 5. It stays on the list.
All right, V for Vendetta stays.
And just
right, so-
just to say, I just want to say real quick, I just didn't want them all to be this like superhero movies. It's nice to have something that does something different, says something different. You know?
Oh no, I respect it. That's why it's on my list.
Something.
No, I respect it. That's why it's on my list.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
All right, so now it goes to me. I gotta throw out Man of Steel for the chopping block. Yes, I do enjoy the movie, but looking at everything else that's around it, that's undoubtedly the weakest of all these movies. So yeah, Man of Steel. I would say I would nominate for the chopping block. Let's go to Hunter.
Okay, looking at the list of movies that we have, so hard because I love Man of Steel. You guys know I love it so much. I'm going to have to agree with Chance just on the fact that the other movies on my top 5 list, the greatest DC movies. So, yeah, I'm going to agree with Chance.
Okay, so that's 2 votes for Man.
It pains me to say it.
I mean, these are all good movies, so it's gonna hurt no matter what. But yeah, so Man of Steel has 2 votes to get kicked off. You only need 1 more. Alex, what say you?
Yeah, it's number 7 for me on this list of movies. Man of Steel is good, but again, it's the tale of 2 different film visions that collide, and the movie is a definite 2 halves. It's great in the first half at being a somber piece of what is it like to be a god walking amongst men. The second half misses the point of that entirely. It's good, it's just not top 5 good.
Yeah, okay, so Man of Steel gets kicked out of top 7. Jeremy, Russell, what would you have said?
I would have kicked it off too. It'd be my 7 , but I do.
Russell?
The lowest I could have put that maybe was 5. I get it.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
Again, like we're not saying it's bad. We're just saying like it's not top 5 good.
I'm just glad I didn't have to break it.
All right.
That Band-Aid was already ripped off. We're good.
Well, speaking of which, Russell, you're up. What film do you say should go on the chopping block?
Which one should go on a chopping block out of what we have left?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, we got to get down to 5.
Didn't we already take 2? We took V for Vendetta stayed. What all do we have?
We have Vendetta State.
We have Wonder Woman, Dark Knight.
We have The Dark Knight, Superman.
Batman,
Vendetta. We already tried him. It's The Dark Knight, Superman, Batman '89, Wonder Woman, or Batman Begins.
I gotta chop. Oh my god, this is tough.
This is
It's
hard.
tough. It's real.
It's
tough.
hard when these are good movies.
Yeah.
Just I like '89 Batman more. I gotta go Batman Begins. I know. To me, I just thought that Burton's idea of Batman and stuff like that to really start off the DC mainstream. I thought Keaton did a great job as Bruce Wayne. To me, like I said, it's hard. But if there's something that I think deserves to make the top 5, I'm going to have to kick Batman Begins out.
All right, so Batman Begins on the chopping block. Let's go to Jeremy. Your vote didn't count last time.
It stays.
All right, Jeremy says it stays.
That's all I'm going to say.
Let's cut to Alex.
As much as it pains me to do this, I had a list going into this. Batman Begins was number 6. It's a great movie.
Okay.
I remember being there opening day to see it. It's amazingly done to reintroduce Batman, redo the superhero origin, did so much for the genre, but it's still been eclipsed by a couple of better movies since and a couple of movies before it that are still iconic. So yeah, it's off on my list.
All right, so that's 2 votes for Batman Begins to get knocked off. I'm gonna abstain. I'll throw it to Hunter. Hunter's Batman Begins. Move on to top 5.
Batman Begins stays on the list.
Oh, it falls on Chance.
Sounds down to me.
I love this movie. I love it.
Okay. So it's down to me. I love Batman Begins. I really do.
It's really better than Batman '89. I'm sorry to be a heretic.
But if we're looking at the influence, on influence alone, cut it. It pains me because as much as I love Batman Begins,
you could say, I'm sorry for interrupting you, but Batman Begins saved the Batman franchise.
it did.
So
it
either
did.
way, I mean, they both influence each other.
But I think it's kind of like Star Wars versus Empire Strikes Back for me. Like, yes, Star Wars, but Empire did it better. And on that principle, I gotta say, I gotta cut Batman Begins. As much as it pains me,
Yeah. Okay.
I love Batman Begins. I still give it over Dark Knight Rises, but yeah, Batman Begins gets cut from the list. All right, so we have our top 5. We have our top 5. It's The Dark Knight, Superman, V for Vendetta, Batman '89, and Wonder Woman. Here's what we're gonna do now. If you guys all have your whiteboards ready, or it's like something to write on.
Yep.
Russell's leaving for a second, so while he's going, I will talk about round 3. Round 3, we have the ranking process. What we're each gonna do is gonna be up for debate. What we're each gonna do, we're each gonna write what movie go in that spot. Whatever movie has the most votes wins. Gets that place in the list.
So we're going number 1 first? I'm sorry.
No.
We're going 5 first.
We
All right, so
start
what
with
we're gonna do,
five.
Russell, is we're each gonna a spot on the list is gonna be up for debate.
All
We're
right.
each gonna write on our whiteboards what movie deserves to go on that spot.
All right.
On
Number
our 5
5.
spot.
Number 5.
Okay.
Yeah. So what movie? So out of the movie selected, what movie do you think deserves to go in the 5 spot?
I already had this written down the second it made the list.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to hate me.
I feel like you did. All right. All right. I have mine.
I have mine.
Russell, you ready?
Yeah.
All right. We'll go to Alex first. Alex, what do you say?
V for Vendetta.
Okay. Russell.
Yeah, I second V for Vendetta.
Hunter.
I said Superman.
Okay. Jeremy.
I don't think it should be on the list, so I wanted to drop it lower. Batman '89.
Oh. Okay.
I know. I'm a jerk.
I also said Batman '89.
Oh!
Oh!
So Hunter, you now have to change your vote. What goes in the 5 spot? V for Vendetta or Batman '89?
Oh, screw you guys.
The way this goes.
Notice how Hunter's
He's been the
deciding.
he's been the decider a few times. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah.
Poor kid.
Poor kid. I'm sorry.
I love both these movies, but you know what? Because I love V for Vendetta as a movie, I said Batman '89 should go in number 5.
Oh, Batman!
I love
So
you.
Batman '89 currently occupies the 5
Sorry,
spot.
Alex. Alex is real mad. Isn't
Yeah.
that your
I'm
favorite
not
movie? Alex?
mad. It is it's the movie
Yeah.
that made me love movies. Like Hunter said, his dad can recite the Joker's lines. You put me in front of this movie, I can recite it line for line. I have seen this movie that many times. I love it.
Hey, but considering how many DC movies there are, number 5 is not a bad spot.
It's not a bad spot. It's not.
It's not bad.
All right, so now we have to decide what movie goes in the number 4 spot.
So wait,
Shouldn't have
Batman
even wiped
89
off my board.
is 5, right?
Yes.
Batman '89 is
Yeah,
number 5.
that's locked in at 5.
So now we pick number 4. All right, everyone ready?
Yep.
All right, I'll be the bad guy. I'll go first. I said Wonder Woman.
Ooh.
Jeremy?
I know I've been passionately arguing for it, but I don't think it should be higher than this. V for Vendetta.
All right. Hunter.
Is it me?
Hunter. Yes.
Again, I went with Superman.
All right.
Mm.
Russell?
V for Vendetta.
And all right, so V for Vendetta
Yeah,
makes
V
the
for
number 4
Vendetta.
spot.
Yeah.
God damn it, Jeremy.
Hey, I just want it on the list, okay? I just wanted it on there.
V for Vendetta would have been 3 for me. So
I will tell you where
All right.
it was. it was number 7 for me. It wasn't like it was low.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
there are 6 better DC movies.
It would have been 5
All right,
for
so
me.
now we go-
I would have had Batman Begins ahead of it.
All right, so now we vote for what we think should be number 3 on the list.
Okay.
Funny how the last 3 on the list is the debate between the movies of the DC Big 3. We have Superman, The Dark Knight, and
Yeah,
Wonder
that is
Woman.
cool. That is cool.
Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman.
All right, so Hunter, you ready?
Not yet. Hold on. Give me one more second. Yeah.
I feel like I know what your answer is. I don't know
Yeah, I
what
think
you're
we
writing
know.
so much about.
I think we know.
All right, let's go to you know what? Let's go to Hunter first.
You already know
I feel like I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Superman.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why you act like you're writing. I don't know why you act like you're writing anything else. Let's go to Alex.
I agree on this one. Superman.
Really? Okay, Russell.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman.
Did you say
Jeremy.
me? I'm sorry.
Yeah, Jeremy.
I almost put Superman, guys, but I went with Wonder Woman.
Oh, so it's up to me.
Yeah.
And yeah, I also pick Wonder Woman. I think it's very good, but I think these 2 movies deserve to be much higher than this one.
The only reason I keep picking Superman is because I've never seen that movie. So,
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah.
well, either way, you have to vote on it now. So now we're going to vote. Instead of voting number 2, we're going to be voting on the number 1 film on the list. So right where you think should be number 1.
Okay. Will we all have the same answer? That's the attention.
We did last week. We did last time.
Last time.
Yeah.
yep.
Because no matter how much we agree, no matter how much we disagree on everything else, we can all agree Batwoman is a piece of crap.
Yes.
Yeah. Supergirl's worse, but
I disagree. Everyone ready?
wait, not quite. You go to someone else first.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right. I'll go
I'm trying
first.
to be funny. Go ahead.
Okay. I go first. I said Superman.
Oh wow, nice.
All right, let's go to Jeremy.
I said Batman Begins, and then I knocked my phone over. I said Batman Begins. I mean The Dark Knight.
All right.
I'm trying to do like screen humor there.
Hunter?
I also said The Dark Knight.
Ooh. All right. So it's 2-1. Russell.
Gotta go with my favorite character, Superman.
Wow, not all the
So,
same movie like I
Alex.
predicted.
You are now the deciding vote. Is it The Dark Knight or is it Superman?
Okay.
Both of
Oh,
these movies
God.
have flaws, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Both of these movies do have flaws. Superman is amazing for what it did at the time. Same with The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight did a lot of things cinematically, the IMAX cameras, but Superman made you believe a man can fly. The performances are great in both films, but oh, fuck it. It's The Dark Knight. Of course it's The Dark Knight.
Oh.
I hear Woodburn screaming in the distance.
Yep.
Right? I can hear furious anger. All right, so we have our top 5. We have our list. At number 5, we have Batman 89. Number 4, we have V for Vendetta. Number 3, Wonder Woman. Number 2, Superman the movie. And number 1, the best DC movie of all time, according to us and our scientific science, The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Very solid list.
All right.
So myself.
And I've mentioned it a couple times, guys, but I do want to kind of show off a bit. I predicted 6 of these 7 movies making our top 7. The only one that didn't make it was Mask of the Phantasm.
Oh, really?
What
Six.
did you have?
Six out
Did
of
you have the
seven.
same top
And my
5?
Top 7.
Was your
No,
top 5
I
the
had
same?
no, because Mask of the Phantasm was number 4 for me.
Oh, okay.
Batman Begins was number 6,
Right.
though. And
Okay.
V for Vendetta was 7.
I just want to say,
Okay.
I'm so happy that both V and Wonder Woman made this list
Yeah.
for top 5.
I mean,
Variety.
Well, that was it for
I'm
Full Metal
not
5 tonight,
It
guys.
was great.
Yeah, so that was it for us. That was it for us for Full Metal 5 tonight. Guys, anything you want to say before we close out? We'll start with Alex.
Honestly, I'm going to be honest. I didn't mean to knock V for Vendetta as much as I did. It is a great movie. See it. And Hunter, do yourself a favor. See Mask of the Phantasm
And Superman.
They are both great.
I also have to watch Watchmen, so everyone else can hate now.
Yeah,
No, you're cool. You're good. You're good.
Unless you like.
All right, Russell, anything you want to say before we close out?
No, I was happy. Like I said, it was funny because I was going through. I used Wikipedia because I'm sitting there looking at I wanted a list of live action. And I'm sitting there, I'm like looking, I'm like scribbling down, and I had 7. 6 out of the 7 made it, so I was happy with that. I mean, that shows you.
Same.
I mean, that says enough.
Right.
So, yeah.
Hunter, anything you got? Anything you want to plug before we take off?
Yeah, I just want to plug Bros Trivia. We do wrestling, MMA. We started, I think, 2 weeks ago. Movies, Inner Geekdom, Trivias. It's a whole bunch of fun, and yeah, just thank you guys for inviting me on tonight. It's fun.
Jeremy, anything you want to say before we close out?
Just 2 of my honorable mentions: the other non-superhero movies, Road to Perdition and A History of Violence. 2 movies.
That's a good one to bring up History of Violence.
Yeah, and this was fun, and I think we can all join in screaming at Henry and telling him that Superman the movie isn't boring.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, well, that's it for me. Thank you for those of you watching. Thank you for joining us. We're sure to be doing this more in the future. I really want to do one next week. I don't want to talk about it yet, but you'll find out. We find out when we actually reveal it.
Yep.
From me, from all my crew here at Full Metal Trivia, we want to say thank you for joining us and goodbye.